Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you might be. Shield Destroyer. So is weather modification a reality or is it a conspiracy theory? Right? I'm sure people are well aware now that the media now happily tells people they're modifying the weather. Originally, of course, it was complete denial, and anyone who mentioned it to anyone was a conspiracy theory, a total whack job. And of course, the explanation for massive weather changes, if the average man on the street had even noticed, was global warming. Right? It was all that was the answer you got. You either got called a name, you're either a conspiracy theorist, a nut job, or oh, that's just global warming, innit? Just listen to Anna's food lifestyle. This was all sent to me by Frank, so cheers.
50 countries, but no, again, their statement, not statement, but something on their website says again, 50 plus countries are already using weather modifying technology. Okay, so again, it is spread and is openly available. They're telling us it is happening again. So how much, my thought is happening in over 15 countries. This is to what they tell us. But how much is actually happening to what we don't get told? Okay, this is the thing. But right now we're looking at the government report. We're talking about the government accountability office. So there was a report, PDF report. They're talking about the cloud seeding. So cloud seeding is a decades-old approach to modifying weather. Okay, it's telling us here again, for people that think it's not been happening or just happening, decade-old approach. Okay, it's been happening for decades. Okay, and yes, apparently they actually say that the measuring results can be difficult because the weather is chaotic. But again, okay, if the weather is chaotic and it's very difficult to measure, why they continue doing this? It's clearly got to be an agenda behind that. Right.
So there you go, 50 plus countries. So basically, it could mean all the countries, couldn't it, when you're saying 50 plus? This here is weather as a force multiplier, owning the weather in 2025, right? A research paper presented to the Air Force 2025 is all the people who put their bit in, I suppose, August 1996. So it's disclaimer, 2025 is a study designed to comply with a directive from the Chief of Staff of the Air Force to examine the concept. So I assume it's called 2025, but it was released in 1996. So it's called Air Force 2025, but it was released in 1996. So why are they calling it Air Force 2025, right? Anyway, of the Air Force to examine the concepts, capabilities and technologies of the United States required to remain the dominant air and space force in the future. Presented on the 17th of June 1996, this report was produced in the Department of Defense School of Environment of Academic Freedom and in the interest of advancing concepts related to national defence. The views expressed in this report are those of the authors and do not reflect the official policy or position of the United States Air Force Department of Defence or United States government. So yeah, obviously that's their get out clause, right? It's just the views. This report contains fictional representations of future situation scenarios. Any similarities to real people or events other than those specifically cited are unintentional and are for the purposes of illustrations only. Alright, let's just go down here, right? So we've got the contents. Acknowledgements, thank you very much, right? Right, so in 2025, US aerospace forces can own the weather by capitalising on emerging technologies and focusing development of those technologies to war-fighting applications. Such capability offers the warfighter tools to shape the battle space in ways never before possible. It provides opportunities to impact operations across the full spectrum of conflict and is pertinent to all possible futures. The purpose of this paper is to outline a strategy for the use of a future weather modification system to achieve military objectives rather than to provide a detailed technical roadmap. A high-risk, high-reward endeavour. Weather modification offers a dilemma not unlike the splitting of the atom. While some segments of society will always be reluctant to examine controversial issues such as weather modification, the tremendous military capabilities that could result from this field are ignored at our own peril. From enhancing friendly operations or disrupting those of the enemy via small-scale tailoring of natural weather patterns to complete dominance of global communications and counter-space control. Weather modification offers the warfighter a wide range of possible options to defeat or coerce an adversary. Some of the potential capabilities a weather modification system could provide to a warfighting commander-in-chief are listed in Table 1. Technological advancements in 5 major areas are necessary for an integrated weather modification capability. Number 1, advanced nonlinear modelling techniques. Number 2, computational capability. Number 3, information gathering and transmission. Number 4, global sensor array. And number 5, weather intervention techniques. Some intervention tools exist today and others may be developed and refined in the future. So this is operations capability matrix: degrade enemy forces, enhance friendly forces, right? Precipitation enhancements and precipitation avoidance. You can read through those yourself because it doesn't look like it's going to really give us much. Current technologies that will mature over the next 30 years will offer anyone who has the necessary resources the ability to modify weather patterns and their corresponding effects, at least on the local scale. Current demographic, economic and environmental trends will create global stresses that provide the impetus necessary for many countries or groups to turn this weather modification ability into a capability. In the United States, weather modification will likely become a part of national security policy with both domestic and international applications. Our government will pursue such a policy depending on its interest at various levels. These levels could include unilateral actions, participation in a security framework such as NATO, membership in an international organisation such as the UN, or participation in a coalition. Assuming that in 2025 our national security strategy includes weather modification, its use in our national military strategy will naturally follow. Besides the significant benefits, an operation capability would provide another motivation to pursue weather modification is to deter and counter potential adversaries. In this paper we showed that the appropriate application of modern weather modification can provide battle space dominance to a degree never before imagined. In the future, such operations will enhance air and space superiority and provide new options for battle space shaping and battle space awareness. The technology is there, waiting for us to put it together. In 2025, can we own the weather? The weather modifications described in this paper are consistent with the operating environments and missions relevant for aerospace forces in 2025 as defined by AFLR and Long Range Planning Office reporting to the CSAF. General Gordon R. Sullivan, moving into the 21st century. America's Army and Modernization. There you go. Chapter 1 Introduction. Imagine that in 2025 the US is fighting a rich but now consolidated politically powerful drug cartel in South America. The cartel has purchased hundreds of Russian and Chinese-built fighters that have successfully thwarted our attempts to attack their production facilities. With their local numerical superiority and interior lines, the cartel is launching more than 10 aircraft for every one of ours. In addition, the cartel is using the French system Probatoire d'Observation de la Terre spot positioning and tracking imagery systems, which is in 2025 are capable of transmitting near real-time multispectral imagery with 1 meter resolution. The US wishes to engage the enemy on an open playing field in order to exploit the full potential of our aircraft and munitions. Meteorological analysis reveals that equilateral South American typically has afternoon thunderstorms on a daily basis throughout the year. Our intelligence has confirmed that cartel pilots are reluctant to fly in or near thunderstorms. Therefore, our Weather Force support element, which is part of the Commander-in-Chief's Air Operations Centre, is tasked to forecast storm paths and trigger or intensify thunderstorm cells over critical target areas that the enemy must defend with their aircraft. Since our aircraft in 2025 have all-weather capability, the thunderstorm threat is minimal to our forces, and we can effectively and decisively control the sky over the target. It's funny, they seem to know, isn't it? In 2025, the aircraft will have all-weather capability. In 1996, they seem to know that's already going to be a thing. I guarantee, I don't need to look, I guarantee it is a thing. Right? The WFSE has the necessary sensor and communication capabilities to observe, detect and act on weather modification requirements to support US military objectives. These capabilities are part of an advanced battle area system that supports the war fighting. In our scenario, the CINC tasks the WFSE to conduct storm intensification and concealment operations. The WFSE models the atmospheric conditions. All war people. To forecast with 90% confidence the likelihood of successful modification using airborne cloud generating and seeding. In 2025, uninhabited aerospace vehicles are routinely used for weather modification operations. By cross-referencing desired attack times with wind and thunderstorm forecasts and the spot satellite's projected orbit, the WTSF-SE generates mission profiles for each UAV. The WFE-SE guides each UAV using the near real-time information from a network sensor array. So I think we've got a good idea that weather modification seems to be all about war, doesn't it? Let's see, why would we want to mess with the weather? So it's all about war fighting. So apparently they've always wanted to do something about the weather. In the US, as early as 1839, newspaper archives tell of people with serious and creative ideas on how to make rain. In 1957, the President's Advisory Committee on Weather Control explicitly recognised the military potential of weather modification, warning in their report that it could become a more important weapon than the atom bomb. However, since 1947, concerning the possible legal consequences arising from the deliberate alteration of large storm systems meant that little future experimental experimentation could be conducted on storms, which had the potential to reach land. You think in 1947 they probably had a bit of brain, right? Probably realised, yeah, it's not probably a good idea to mess with nature, right? But in 1977, UN General Assembly adopted a resolution prohibiting the hostile use of environmental modification techniques. The resulting convention on the prohibition of military or any other hostile use, again, looks like they even had it in 1977. Look. But things change, people, innit? You know, now they're using it. Okay, it's all by computers, people. Changing the weather with a computer, right? And of course, they're not going to worry about all the people, all the people that are being killed by this weather modification. How it will affect even you know, all the animals, right? But if you still are out there and you don't think that they're doing weather modification, you just think it's global warming because, you know, that's what they've taught you, the scumbags, right? The absolute pigs. Then carry on, innit? Carry on being a fucking idiot. Stick some more needles in your arms, stick some muzzles on your face, and pretend you're special, innit? But yeah, it's 100% happening. If you think all that spray in the sky that you're constantly seeing is contrails, then you're easily conned. But there you go. I'll link this below, and I'll also link this so you can have a listen to what Anna's Food Lifestyle is saying about it. And just to confirm, yeah, they are weather modifying, and it's not going to be good for humanity or mankind, let's say, right? Or animal kind. Let's say animal kind, right? You shouldn't fuck with nature, people. We all know that, right? We all know that. You shouldn't fuck with nature. Yet we allow these fucking scumbags to do whatever they want because we're too busy with our own sick, boring, shitty little lives.